I'm going to pull from the end. I think it's just my ears that are ringing.
I think so, too. Why would your ears be ringing, Erin?
I don't know.
I don't know. No idea.
I don't know.
No reason.
Not for me to say.
No, not for any of us to
plane
guess.
Crash?
Oh, I heard about that plane crash. You mean that one that crashed in San Diego?
That one that crashed, like, fucking right there? Yeah.
Motherfucker. Yeah, right there. Hey, guys, we could have been recording and a plane could have crashed right into our goddamn shed, evidently.
Wasn't it? It was, like, musicians.
It was, yeah.
The Devil Wears Prada.
The drummer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then it was some...
Was it Pierce the Veil, too? I heard a rumor that they were on it, but I didn't look
Maybe it was, like, their
after that.
talent agent. I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh. Fucking tragic.
I know, man. Don't be fucking flying around right now. Zipping around in Cessnas. But did you hear, like, the reason?
No.
Well, it was really, like, foggy that morning. And when they were going to land in, like, Montgomery or some shit like that, and when they called in, all the automated, there was nobody working the towers because it's fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, and all the automated responses had no information, so you didn't know the conditions. Like, the weather, the wind, nothing. It was like, no information.
Oh, no.
And then so they called another airport, like a close by one, maybe it was like Miramar or something, and they told them their information, and then they were like, okay, we're going to go try it. But I don't know why. I think I also heard that they hit a power line or something.
Oh, my God.
And it was really foggy.
Yeah,
but like,
I heard they were flying IFR, though. And
was that like away from keyboard? What does that mean?
Yeah, basically. Like away from fucking visual seeing it.
Oh, really? Is that what that means? I would think you would have to. You're like flying by instruments at that point, right? Yeah. But then how do you fucking fly so low you hit power lines? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not
like
a pilot.
if that was working, then they shouldn't have, they should have just been on course, whatever.
I don't know.
How horrible.
Luckily, nobody in the houses got hurt or died.
Yeah. How scary.
But there was like fucking jet fuel everywhere.
Oh
Guys.
God. Were there people home in the houses? Do you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm learning right now.
Yeah, there were, and it was on a military base. So I think, I think that was one of the, I did not fact check any of this shit, and it's from my TikTok, which is covered in conspiracy theories. So could be
all real,
spewing bullshit. But I think I had heard that, like, because they were on a military base, a lot of people were very like close to each other and very like quick to be like, hey, wake up, get out. So they like evacuated very quickly, and everybody responded very fast.
That makes sense.
And everybody.
I mean,
was safe.
they are densely packed neighborhoods. That would make sense.
Yeah, yeah. I also saw somebody post on TikTok, and they were like, I stopped sleeping with a fan tonight because an entire plane crashed in my front yard and everybody evacuated, and I slept through all of it. So, I guess not everybody evacuated.
Oh, man. That'd be some shit I would do. Like, what happened?
That would be you.
Who did what?
I'd have to drag you out by your fucking bunion to wake your ass up.
Literally. Oh, my God. It'd be Brandon, too. Like, the kids would come out like, hey, man, there's a pilot in my room. He's asking if my parents are home.
Should I let him in, Mom?
Yeah, he came in.
Oh,
so.
my God. Yeah, he's here now.
He's here.
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
I didn't open the door, I swear.
God damn!
Anyway, you want to give me your goddamn?
Fucking obviously. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've shared on here that my family and I share an RV. Like, it's like my brother, my mom, all of us, whatever. Mm-hmm. We have a family RV, and my brother's borrowing it. I stored it at my house. And so my brother's coming over to take it yesterday. And as the one who stores the RV, I feel some sort of responsibility to do a walkthrough before anybody takes it to make sure, like, everything's status quo. It's okay to take this. Like, nothing weird was left behind. There's water in the tank. You can use it. Like, everything's working.
Is there shit in the toilet?
Oh, my God. No, but that has happened before. But that's a different story. No, but when I opened the RV, right away I smelled something. And I was like, it doesn't smell right in here. But we hadn't used it. We have not used it in so long.
Yeah.
And in fact, the only time I've used it has been at girls' nights. Like when we go sit around the fucking table and we'll drink and shoot the shit and listen to music and do a fucking craft or some shit in there. But we're not eating like food. And if we are, we take everything out. So I don't know why it was smelling like that. And so I did a walkthrough, and in one of the cabinets, I found some old potatoes and onions. And it was from a year ago, we determined, from when somebody else used it. Like, because that was the last time it got used.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, you guys, these potatoes were soup.
Yeah.
And they leaked.
Oh, no.
And it smelled like a dead body. Like, why do potatoes smell like that?
Yeah, they're bad.
Why are they like that? Why was it like that? I don't know why. But then also I grew an entire onion tree.
Oh.
I'm debating planting it in the ground.
You
It's
should.
sitting in the trash
The
right
RV
now.
onion.
I know. Oh my God. Holy shit, there was a whole fucking jungle. That was a whole year.
Oh my
a whole
God.
year. Like literally it's getting used again because they do a yearly trip.
Oh no.
Isn't that fucking crazy? A whole year. I didn't smell it at all.
Ah.
It was like a dead body. So if anybody knows why potatoes smell like that, like it's a fucking root, man. You think it would just like naturally decompose into a tree branch. I don't know.
Or something.
Why
Yeah,
is it like
harden
that?
up. I don't know. I did that with the potatoes one time at our apartment.
You'll only do it once.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And we had it like it was a long pantry, top shelf, all the way in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't notice until it ate. It started smelling like dead body, but it started also leaking down the wall.
That's
in
what
the back,
happened.
and was like, that's the part I could see because they were like,
And you're
up
like,
too
why is
high
it
and in the
bleeding?
back. Yeah, and I was like, the wall is leaking.
That's what happened in the RV.
And the wall's leaking death. The wall's leaking death because it was turning to soup.
Just imagine anytime it gets hot. Ugh. Gross.
Awful. Awful. Yeah, that was
I guess
a horrible
they'll air it out.
experience. So, yeah, do you have to replace the cabinets or anything? Like, is anything ruined? because
Shit,
of
I
it?
don't know. I just used a fuck ton of Clorox wipes, and then my brother came, and I was like, hey, man, turns
FYI.
out somebody left potatoes and onions, and his eyes got real big. He's like, that might have been us. And I was like, whoo, don't worry, I cleaned it, but it might smell like a dead body on a hot day. Like, you got to watch out.
Ugh.
I don't know.
Nobody's making mashed potatoes out when they're camping. Man.
These motherfuckers are.
What are you doing?
These motherfuckers are. They're.
I could
you're
see
gonna
the
get
onions.
a goddamn potato casserole.
Oh, no. Those for my hash browns.
Oh my God, doesn't that sound bomb?
Oh, yeah,
Ooh.
obviously.
Different day,
Different day. I
different
can't do that
story.
right now. I don't
Yeah.
need that right now. Do you want to hear my goddamn?
Obviously,
It is significantly less gross.
yours is way more exciting too.
So we got a kitten.
Yay!
Okay, I don't
Replacement cat. Oops.
He's not dead yet. Okay, I don't know if I shared with everyone, but we had a swear jar because we're trying to quit swearing, and the goal was once the swear jar was like empty or whatever, then we'd get a kitten. But you know, once Brandon says yes to something, I'm like, well, I'm gonna find it somewhere.
Now we are allowed to get a cat.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's been decided, so it's gonna happen.
Right.
So
The tribe has spoken.
yeah, the swear jar is not yet empty, but my friend's coworker's neighbor
Obviously,
had some kittens.
you
so-
had to help him out.
Yeah, I got it. You know, the cat distribution system works in mysterious ways, and this is how it worked for me.
Honestly, yeah. And you got your bag.
I got my bag, and he's so cute. Oh my god,
Oh,
he's
he's
so
the
gray
cutest.
and white, and I'll post pictures of him. He's so handsome, and we went through a lot of names. There were a lot of things being thrown around, but
There were a lot,
There were a lot that we settled on Olaf because he's my daughter's kitten.
obviously.
So you know he.
Frozen.
I was really going for Kristoff, Chris, Carl, Hank. Come on,
Obviously. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
hmm or like Daryl.
Obviously.
After Dimebag Daryl,
Yeah.
obviously.
Sounds like he is a dime bag
He
too.
is a dime bag. He's a fucking crime bag. Jesus Christ. I have so many scratches on myself. I forgot how sharp they are.
They're like little tiny razors on a floof ball.
That was tossed around too. We should call him Razor Blade.
Oh my God, that'd be the coolest name ever.
I know. Or just Blade.
His
I don't
markings
know.
are so pretty too.
He's so pretty. He's a little handsome guy. Allegedly, he is half Persian Maine Coon and then half black outside cat.
half. Huh?
Yeah, half outside cat. I don't know. So the mom was so pretty.
Oh my God.
But she's for sure long hair, and we're the family that's like short hair only. And Brandon can't tell because it's a kitten. So, you know, we'll see.
You're
We'll
gonna
see what
find
he
out?
comes out with. But his mom has that big poofy tail, like the
That's what
Persian
I had.
cats. Oh,
Mhm.
so cute.
That was my little fluff ball.
Yeah, baby girl was tossing around Fluffy, too. She wanted that name. And I was like, there can be only one.
You should have let her have it.
But then
Every
she
little
would've been
girl needs a fluffy.
Spitfire that fucking
She'd be a
attacks me.
dick.
Yeah.
He'd be a dick.
Yeah, he already kind of is, though.
See, they're like that.
Oh, he's so cute. Though. I
Oh,
just
I
love
love
him
it.
so much. And then he's really tamed down the Sonic, the other one that has
Oh,
been
really? Sonic's like,
attacking.
I'm not the young one around here
He
anymore.
is, yeah. Well, now looking at Sonic, I'm like, Jesus, you're kind of a fatty.
Oh, no, really?
Like, he's like a domesticated tiger now. You know when you see a tiger and you're like, you're not supposed to look like that.
Yeah, like a little
Like,
bulgy.
Has a panza and stuff. So I'm like, oh, homie, you're not supposed to look like that.
He's like, what?
Here's an in-shape cat.
He's all nimble and spry. Sonic's like, what the fuck is that shit?
Literally.
On Wednesdays, we nap.
Yeah. Aw, so he's teaching him all the ways. But now he's stopped attacking Greg, my real old guy.
That's the one that's getting replaced.
He's on his way out.
Oopsie.
And I feel a little bit bad introducing him to his replacement. But
they do it to us in the corporate world all the time.
Right.
He can handle it.
Just train this guy.
Yeah, just train your replacement.
Yeah. But he hasn't cared at all. He's just been completely nonchalant about it. So there's that.
He's like, I'm not going to train him well.
Yeah. He's like, listen, you're going to hit bare minimum out of me. I am on my way out.
These are my final days, man.
Right. Oh.
How's he doing, though?
Who? Gregory? He's not doing good. No, it's not a good time.
Well, that's not good. That's not good.
We don't need to bring it down.
Oh,
we got a kitten. Yay!
Yay! Yay! I see what we're doing.
Yeah. We're trying to. He's my emotional support kitten.
Yeah,
I get my other cat.
That's the way we should be doing life.
I don't think it's healthy, but it's gonna get me through it.
Imagine your like kids all of a sudden show up with like a younger, newer mom,
right
on your deathbed.
Your husband's like, anyway, this is the nanny.
Yeah.
Can you teach her how to do the laundry right?
Tell her what I like. I don't want to have to retrain another.
Oh, God. No, I don't think I want to live in that world.
Show her that thing you do. Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about something significantly worse?
Obviously. That's why I'm here.
All right. We're going to talk about John David Terry.
John David Terry.
His name has 3 first names.
Whenever he go out,
the people always shout,
why the fuck do you have 3 goddamn names as your first, second, and third? I don't know what I'm
I
doing.
like it. That's good. Off the cuff.
No, we practiced. Could you imagine if we did and that's what we showed up with?
That'd be sad. But listen, what's in your orange cup there?
Nothing. I'm just going to hold it close to my face at all times so that no shot will be usable. It's not like it's branded or anything.
Yeah, there's no
I don't
label
know
on
why
it. You're
be
fine.
usable.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't have any information on the before times of
Obviously.
John David Terry.
Fuck before times.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But we are in Nashville, Tennessee.
Woo! My new favorite place.
Baby. Yeah, you are well acquainted with the town, right?
I belong.
You sure do.
They don't want me, but I'm there.
You know, I feel like that's how a lot of people get there. They don't want me, but I'm there.
I thought you were going to say, like, a lot of people in my life. I was like, fair enough.
Oh, no. No, I want you here.
I know you do.
So this is 1987.
Oh, what a great year.
I know.
Ugh, the finest of all the years.
Mm-hmm. Well, John Terry was born in 1945. He is 44 years old at the time of our story, and he had a wife named Brenda and 3 sons.
Okay.
That is all of the before times.
Poor fucking Brenda. You know she was shooting for a girl.
Fucking right. That's why they had the 3rd.
I know. And they're like, fuck it, I'm done.
I am not doing this again. So John worked for the Emmanuel Churches of Christ.
Okay.
Which is a group of Pentecostal churches that all have their own pastor, but the entire group is headed by, like, one bishop, right?
Okay.
Okay. And John was a pastor of one of the churches, but he was also the associate bishop. So he's kind of high up there.
You an associate bish?
He's an associate to the bishop.
Regional manager.
Yes. He's kind of high up there, but, like, not quite there yet.
He's
right?
like associated with the bishop.
He's like,
that motherfucker has associated a time or 2.
He listens to all my ideas.
He might have rubbed an elbow once.
He might have.
I bet that bishop probably blessed some of his fucking water.
He's like, I know what he takes in his coffee.
Yeah.
Know?
2 sugars.
Mm-hmm. He is about it.
And 1 body of Christ.
You don't want too many of those in there.
That can only be 1.
John's father worked in the ministry as well.
Uh-huh.
So this is something that John had wanted to do for a really long time, right? Like, his aim was to be bishop.
Okay.
He's like, I'm going to fucking run this town.
Did his dad ever make bishop?
Listen, I don't know, but...
Doesn't sound like it.
Doesn't sound like it, but, you know, you always want to be better than your dad, right?
Yeah, sure.
You know. So, Reverend John, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reverend John was doing all right where he's at, but he's looking forward to when the current bishop retired so he could become bishop and, like, I don't know, ascend. Take his final form.
Is that how it works?
Whatever he does.
Take his final... So he can become the phoenix himself and rise from the ashes.
Yes. However, in 1984...
Wait.
Okay.
Is that how it works to become bishop? Or does he have to be, like, in the fucking gauntlet against the other associate to the bishops? Or
I think he was the only one associate to the bishop.
Wow.
And so he was, like, next in line for the throne or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But it's all dependent on when this guy goes out.
Yeah, and who's ruling.
Exactly.
Obviously.
So, in 1984, John's mom died. And this sent John into...
An unbishop-like spiral?
Kind of just a depression,
Okay.
right? But he's waiting for it to get better, right?
Yeah. Who doesn't, Just wait for their depression to get better. Some people don't.
We just got to get through it. Well, he's trying.
Yeah.
But the only thing that he has looking forward to is when this bishop retires, right? And he's like, I'm going to be bishop. It's okay. Mom won't see me become, but she'll know because the afterlife, I'm sure bishops
She's
can talk
watching,
and
for
stuff,
sure.
Or whatever.
Is
right?
the bishop going to be like, I'm a fucking vampire? And
pretty
lives
much.
on forever? Oh,
Yeah.
no!
Yeah, pretty
This
much.
is bad for Bishop John.
This is going to be bad for Bishop John. Yes, but we're not there yet.
Okay.
So his mom is dead, and now he's depressed, and
Wow.
he's like,
Spoiler alert.
I'm waiting for this promotion. But in the meantime, he started misappropriating church funds.
Ooh, see? That's very unbishop-like.
Very unbishop-like.
Yeah.
But also, there's no one else in line, so...
Who the fuck's going to rat him out? God?
Right? Maybe. I don't know how it works.
Maybe. How's this story about to go?
So how he was doing it is if the church sold something or got money in any kind of way, he would sometimes put that into the tithing instead of into the main church funds.
Mhm.
And he was supposed to take his salary from the tithing. The tithing
Okay.
is like what
Yeah,
people
how much they
donate.
give. Right.
Yeah. So he's supposed to take his salary from there. And he's basically being like, I don't know, we sold the church organ for fucking $20,000 or whatever. I don't know how much organs go for. And then he put that into the tithing.
Sometimes those are part of a room.
Right? Sometimes they're built in. And during this time, his wife Brenda said that he was prone to mood swings and was becoming more withdrawn from her. He was gaining weight and he was unable to perform sexually.
No.
So he's
Bishop
just going
John.
downhill. He is depressed. He's
Brenda's
not doing
like-
great. He starts stealing from the church. He's like, life is not life-ing right now.
Unbishop-like, yeah.
Unbishop-like. This went on for about 3 years.
Oh, shit.
And John's biding his time for this big promotion, right? Like any
Right.
day now.
I'm going to
fucking-
get it any day this motherfucker's going to croak.
This dude is
Oh my
gonna-
God, are you about to tell me what this fool is about to do? You stop it right now. This did not happen in the history of life.
No, he's a bishop. He would never.
Yeah, he would
wants to be a
never.
bishop. He would never.
I'm also really proud of Brenda, that Brenda's like, you know what's really bothering me right now? Is I can't get that bishop dick. Like, the fuck?
She's just getting associate to the bishop dick, and it
Yeah.
only works sometimes.
Yeah, and she's getting upset. Like, I'm getting tired of your fucking...
Yeah, and your mood swings.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't make it better, homie.
No.
Because you can't perform.
The fuck?
So he's waiting for this big promotion, and then in the March of 1987...
In the March. There can only be one of 1987.
In the March of 1987.
Yes.
When the current bishop was like,
I'm out?
actually, I could do this forever.
No.
He was like, it's not that hard to be bishop. You could do this well after 65 or whatever, right?
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so John is like, fucking excuse me.
Wait, how old is the current bishop?
I don't
Only
know.
65?
I don't
'Cause-
know. I'm just going with average retirement age. And so maybe John is thinking like he's got, a couple more years.
Oh, I
till
don't
he's
think
got
they
60.
become bishop till they're at least 82.
I thought, right? Like you
Yeah.
only get a
I think
couple ordained
65
years.
is far too young. I don't know the rules. I'm going off of pure judgment alone.
Pure every one you've ever seen.
Right.
You're like, he's 100.
Yeah, and then they only stick around for a couple years, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're never... Like,
Well,
there's been
I don't know.
a
A
few popes.
I'm
Oh,
sure
I was
there's
thinking
a lot of
popes.
bishops. Yeah, he's not a pope. Yeah, no. He's not going for Grand Wizard.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
you're right.
Not Grand Wizard. Very different kind of different
It
organization.
helped put it in perspective, though.
If you are more familiar. So, anyway, John was like, the fucking what? Right? Like, you're not going to retire? Pardon the fuck out of me?
The fucking what?
The fucking what? He didn't like that answer.
Yeah, he wasn't a fan.
No. A fandom at all. And so he started kind of having suicidal thoughts.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's sad.
Well, if you're never going to reach your final form, like what?
You can, though.
You could. You just got to wait longer. But
Yeah.
he's all depressed and he can't get it up for his wife. And so he's like, I'm not going to last in this, you know? And so he started having some suicidal thoughts.
I wasn't made for this.
I wasn't made for this. I need to be able to get off.
Honestly, you know?
And he starts having a change of heart.
Oh.
And he comes up with a plan to fake his own death and run away and start a new life.
Okay, well, you know, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Don't fake your own death. You could just start a new life, but...
I mean, either way. But he already had practice with, like, misappropriating the church funds,
Oh,
right?
that's true. Yeah, he was running.
Yeah, and so he's like, I can just collect some of this shit, get all the stuff I need, get the fuck out of here, right?
Right.
And so he stole $5,000 from the church
Uh-oh.
and bought a motorcycle.
What? Reverend John.
Reverend
Okay.
John.
Hey.
They call me the Rev.
But he can't get it up? The fuck?
I mean, well, he will in his new life.
Right? With that motor running between his thunder thighs.
Yeah, he only has that because... Never mind. Anyway,
Okay.
so he stole this $5,000. He bought a motorcycle, and then he kept the motorcycle at an off-site warehouse.
Could you imagine? You fucking do not do that. No.
He did. He was like, I am going to go be the Rev.
Who
I am
does
no
that?
longer Reverend
Yeah.
John.
Who fucking does that? Oh my god. That's actually crazy. I'm for it.
I mean,
I'm
for
sure I
it,
won't
too.
be for it in the end, but
It does, you know,
the fuck.
like most things, our
Yeah.
story will have a twist.
Yeah.
But, like, the idea, I love it.
The audacity.
Well, the Reverend's going to fake his own death and go
Right.
run off to be the Rev.
I'd read that book.
Yeah, I would too. I love it.
Uh-huh.
So in April, he ordered several books that were advertised in the Soldier of Fortune magazine as helpful in changing his identity, right? They're like, we've got...
good. I'm
the
glad they're
fucking
marketing
checklist.
that.
Right? I went to the Soldier of Fortune magazine. It's still a thing. It's a free magazine online.
It's like the Auto Trader or whatever, the Kelly Blue book.
Yeah, pretty much. And in these books, the Rev learned to keep an eye out in obituaries for recent deaths, right?
Yeah.
And he did that until he came across the obituary of Jerry Millam, who was a 7-year-old boy who had drowned.
Oh no,
I
not a
know.
7-year-old boy.
Well, I mean, they don't have a record, right? Clean slate.
I guess, yeah.
So Jerry and John had similar birthdays.
Oh.
Obviously not the year.
Huh?
And apparently that's what he was looking for.
What
It
luck,
was like
yeah.
a similar birthday, and
A new identity to steal.
John to Jerry, not that big of a stretch, right?
Right.
He was able to obtain Jerry's birth certificate
Oh shit.
somehow. I don't know
Just
how.
like fucking public knowledge or
I
access. Like,
guess. I didn't
his
think
dad.
anyone could get those, though. Like for someone else.
I don't know. I just ordered my own. It was pretty easy, actually, now that you say that.
I mean, mine too, but like, do you think it's easy enough to just like anyone could log on and order yours?
Maybe if they know, like, my mom's maiden name and shit,
Oh, fuck.
you know?
I guess. Well, maybe that's how he did it then. And then he forged a baptismal certificate for Jerry.
Not a baptismal.
I mean-
how official.
He's got the hookups, yeah.
Yeah.
And so apparently that's
He's
all
got the hookups. Did he forge it himself? He's like, Reverend John.
100%. He's like, I baptized myself.
Reverend
Jerry.
John baptized new Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
And then what he do?
With Jerry's birth certificate and now baptismal certificate, it's like 2 forms of ID, I
Right.
guess,
Oh,
right?
man, he can get a real ID.
So he was able to get fucking everything.
Yeah,
he was able
I can't even do that
to
'cause
get
I
a
got
social
fucking married.
I know, right? So he was able to get a social security number, a mailing address, and was able to put the motorcycle in the name of Jerry Millam.
Okay, so it's nowhere underneath his name.
Nowhere underneath his name.
Not even close to John,
He's
Reverend.
pretty much all set. He just needs to now fake his own death, make people believe that he is dead and not come looking for him, right?
All right, what's his plan? No,
So
not the bishop.
he was a pastor at the church as well, right? So he
Right.
had his own little congregation, right, of
Sure.
people that came and listened to him and trusted him and all that.
Mhm.
And there was
Knew nothing of his motorbiking ways.
knew nothing of his depressive state.
Yeah.
Erectile dysfunctionality. I'm sure, because I'm sure Brenda wasn't advertising,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Could you
So-
imagine?
She's like,
Just right at
this
the
guy,
ice cream social.
don't listen to anything he says.
His dick won't get up
So there was a lady that attended his services.
unless I wear assless chaps. Sorry. What? What'd you say?
Or, whatever. So there was a lady who attended his services whose ex-husband named James Metheny was Matheny.
You stop it.
Matheny.
All right.
And James was down on his luck. He's looking for work, right?
Okay.
And John decided that he could use James in his plot to fake his death.
Oh.
He would later tell police that he wanted to stage, like, some kind of a hoax or a robbery or
Stick up.
whatever, and have James be the one that comes in and finds blood or finds, like, some kind of robbery attempt, right?
Like,
and,
he's the one to discover it.
Yeah, to discover it. He's like, I could use this guy, and then he'll be like, he always comes in on Tuesdays, and he's not here, or whatever, right?
Okay.
So he befriended James, and he gave him a job as a handyman at the church, even though they had another handyman.
Hey-o.
He was like, we need two in this church.
This guy's only got one hand.
He counts as 1.5. And John counseled James through his personal problems.
Oh.
And he rented an apartment for James, and he paid the first 6 weeks of rent for him.
Jesus,
so he's like,
he really went all in.
getting him on his feet. And he's
Yeah.
like, I will take you under my wing.
Feels
I'll
a little
give you a job.
groomy.
Feels a little groomy, but also very helpful from the outside looking in. If you're like this guy's ex-wife, you're like, fucking thanks, take him off my couch. You
Yeah,
know?
true.
Right? And then on June 15th, 1987, John drove to James's apartment to pick him up for a fishing trip.
Okay.
And this trip was supposed to last a few days. So before they left, they had to go to church and finish up some stuff, like, and get ready to take off, right?
Gotta get the rest of those tidings all together.
Yes,
So you can,
exactly.
Fucking get all your money for your fish and bait and hooks and shit, you know?
We got to go pick up the holy water to bless the fish before we eat them.
We gotta make sure they're gonna show up, you know?
Mhm. He's like,
Gotta put in a good word with the guy.
exactly. He's like, I want to make sure we catch fish on this trip. I don't know what it was, but he's like, I got to close up a couple accounts. I don't know.
Right.
Gotta go. And so John drove them back to the church, and then he let James take his car and his credit card to go fill up the car with gas.
Oh.
Right? He's
Okay.
like, you go fill it up with gas, come back. I'm going to make a few phone calls to Jesus or whatever, and then we'll head out.
Just gonna clear a few things up.
I just need to make sure the fish are there.
Yeah. Right.
You know? Like, can you turn...
Water into wine?
Yeah. Did he turn bread into fish or some shit? Or fish into bread? I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
making
something like
up.
that.
Either way, he's like, turn it back into fish. Or leave him as fish. I don't know what the story is. We need to make sure there's fish out there.
Uh-huh.
And so about an hour later, James was back at the church.
I just gotta make sure there's some fish out there. An hour later, James is back at the church.
An hour later, James is, he's done gassing up, doing whatever errands he had
An
him doing.
hour? All
Well,
right, James,
I mean,
chill.
maybe that's by the time John
Fucking
finally came out of his
scoping
office.
out the candy aisle. Jesus Christ.
Real
Grab the
slow.
fucking Starburst like we know you're gonna get, and let's go.
Can never decide on snacks.
I know, it's so hard.
So John came out of his office, and he saw the fold-out steps to the attic were open, right? And so he went up there to presumably go find James, but instead he shot him in the back of the head with a .38 caliber.
When he found
Pistol.
him?
Mm-hmm.
When he found him?
Oh, there he is. Boom. Yeah,
What? In the attic?
in the attic.
What?
Back of the head.
Why? What was he doing up there?
Putting away Christmas decorations? I don't know.
What the fuck? No, you said July.
You're right.
That wasn't Christmas time. It's fucking hotter than piss up there.
Pulling him down for half Christmas. I don't know.
And it was James? James was up there?
James was up there, yeah. And so then John went up there and shot him in the
James
back
is
of
like,
the
let me gas up. I'm just going to check out the attic.
head. Well, he was also a handyman, so he could have been putting tools away or doing something. Like, I'm sure the attic was part of his routine checkup. I don't know.
And John was like so surprised.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He was like, I was just looking for him. And then, he would later tell police
I
he
found
thought
him.
he was a robber or whatever, right? But we'll get there.
Wait a
So-
minute. He's like, I found him. I was looking for him. He's not lying. You know, when you really put it together?
You got to put the truth in it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So
Oh, no. Oh, no. Reverend.
he had shot James in the back of the head with this .38
What a
caliber.
dick. In the back of the head.
Yeah.
Not even in the face. You didn't
No.
even look the face of doom.
No. And James died.
Yeah.
So-
well, huh.
John
think?
decided to get to work on his plan, right?
What was his plan?
He got a hacksaw
No.
and a knife.
So he knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing this whole time.
I see what's happening here.
Yeah, he's like, oh, thank God he's in the attic.
Yeah, this is easy. No. Blood drips.
It sure does.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Maybe that's common in a church. They're like, that's where we keep
That's where Jesus weeps his
the
tears.
artifacts. the Virgin Mary. I know some things.
Sorry.
Get it right. This
was
is
a statue
very
one
biblical
time.
podcast.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm so sorry for offending everyone. He got his hacksaw and his knife,
Right.
and he cut off James's head and his right forearm.
Are you still sorry for offending everyone?
I'm sorry for different people now.
Jesus Christ. He cut off his head?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And his right forearm. Like the forearm down.
Okay.
Okay? He undressed James down to his undies, and then he put his own belt around James's waist.
Why?
Now,
Okay.
I'm unclear if this was a belt with like a buckle, right? Like to
Sure.
keep your pants up, or if it was like a religious belt. And when I searched, like, do bishops wear belts or whatever, it came up with those like rope tassel things.
Wait a minute. You think he's in full bishop uniform doing this murder? This is just John.
No, listen to the end of the story. Because if he puts his own religious belt on this body, then it's like, oh, look, it's my body, right? Oh, now you have a dead body.
Oh, okay.
And so he's going to make himself
To fake
this
his
dead
death.
body to fake his death so that he can take off on the motorcycle.
Okay.
So I think that's what it was
Okay.
this religious tassel.
It wasn't like, okay, see, I thought you were going to say this was going to be a functional use. Like he used the belt to drag the body somewhere.
Oh.
That makes more sense. I was like,
You're like, homie was just in robes. No, they were going on a fishing trip. He was probably in his fucking tactical gear.
right? Oh my God, that one got me.
Sorry.
got me.
Thanks for clearing that up for all of us. But I'm pretty sure.
Could you imagine? Just like whistling Dixie up the fucking ladder to the attic with a shotgun. The fuck?
So Reverend John then put James's clothes in a bag.
I mean, like, is he still a reverend? At what point are we like, you don't get the title?
Who gets to revoke that?
Jesus himself.
Is it revoked on the spot or do you get a trial?
I don't even know how you get it. I think you can just get it by doing an online test. I don't know how they take them away.
So how do you take them away?
There might not be a process.
Further questions.
It's the one title that you get to keep forever.
I
Can't be stripped of.
Yeah, I think it's hard to take those titles away. So yeah, he is still the Rev. Well, he's about to be the Rev. He's still the Reverend.
Okay. Rev.
So the Rev John put James's clothes in a bag with the hacksaw and the knife, and he put them in a dumpster.
Okay.
Okay. And then he put James's head and arm in another bag,
Okay.
and he left the rest of the body in the church attic.
Why?
I will tell you.
He's like, that's a lot to move. Well, he's trying to
He
leave a
needs to
body
leave a
behind.
body, yeah.
But why?
But you don't wanna
But he
take-
took away all the identifying
Yeah.
parts. I get it.
Not
but
all of
like,
them, but some of them. Like he took the head and he took one arm. They got another arm.
Yeah.
Like he could do another fingerprint, but maybe the belt was like enough to where he wouldn't look
He's
into
like, they'll
it.
stop here.
They're
they'll
not going to
stop.
question why I was decapitated. And
If
make
there's
sure it's
anything
me.
I know, it's that these cops will stop here.
If there's anything I know is they're going to have questions. And they're going to look at Exhibit A, the body.
Yeah. And then they're going to be like, wow, it doesn't have a right hand, but good, thank God it has a left one.
Thank God we got this lefty over here.
The fuck?
So, I don't know what he was thinking, but then he loaded the
He's
bag.
probably like, fuck, it's actually really hard to cut a body up.
Probably. We'll have comments on that later, too.
Okay.
So then he loaded the body part bag, right?
Mm-hmm. He
In
did
the
what?
car.
Body part bag.
The body part bag, the heads and the,
right,
and the
right.
arm. He loaded the body part bag in the car, and he went to the store, and he got 2 5-gallon cans, and then he filled them up with gasoline.
Wow. Like
Okay.
a bucket or cans? Where you get
Said cans, but 5 gallons is pretty big. Like those are big boys.
Some big boys, yeah.
So then he drove to the warehouse where his motorcycle was, right? And he dropped off the bag of body parts there with the motorcycle,
Okay.
and then drove back to the church, and he dropped off the gas cans.
Okay.
And then he went over to James's apartment building,
Uh-oh.
and he parked a couple blocks away, and he walked to James's
On
apartment.
his motorcycle?
No, he walked.
Oh, but he parked?
He parked his car.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't take his motorcycle from the
It
warehouse.
was in the warehouse still. Okay.
It's in the warehouse with the body part bags
Right.
now.
Right.
And then he went to James's apartment, and now he's leaving his car a couple blocks away from James's
walking
apartment. And he walked
up to
to
it.
James's apartment.
Okay.
And inside his car, he left a beer bottle, a towel with his own blood on it that he had, like, fucking siphoned out the night before.
His blood?
His own blood.
Why'd he siphon it out?
To leave his blood.
Oh, like evidence.
There's my DNA evidence. There's this blood on this towel.
Why'd you call it siphon? What?
Removed? What am I supposed to call it?
Drained? I don't know.
He had contained. He had captured.
It was just on a rag?
A towel is what I... Yeah.
So he just bled onto a towel? Like he cut himself and got some blood on a towel?
Probably, yeah.
Siphoned? Sorry.
Siphoned
so confused.
I'm sorry.
I'm thinking of like gasoline in a tank that were 5-gallon bucket. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
Into his vein and sucked it out. Listen, wrong word. My bad.
I'm for it. It's still appropriate, I suppose.
So
he's like, come suck this out. Get this fucking water tension
He gave himself
going.
a hickey until it bled. Siphoned it out of his body.
Oh, no.
He left a beer bottle in the car, a towel with his own blood on it, his credit cards, which had James's fingerprints on it from when he was getting gas, and James's fishing stuff, like his tackle box, rod, and reel. Right?
Okay, so all of James's shit is in his car.
All of James's shit is in his car, parked at James's, a little bit away from James's apartment.
Right.
And then he put his own wallet in James's house.
Okay.
And then he took a taxi to the warehouse.
Is he trying to make it look like James hurt him?
Yeah, he's trying to make it look like
Christ.
James killed him.
Yeah.
And like James is on the run, so go be on the lookout for James.
Oh,
like find
my
him.
God.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would later be discovered that James's fingerprints were on the beer bottle, the credit cards, right?
Right.
Found in Reverend John's car because Reverend John had taken his arm, the right arm that he had severed, and like touched
Not
the beer
appropriate
bottle
time to
and stuff. What'd you say?
Not an appropriate time to laugh. I forgot he took his fucking arm. This is the fucking weirdest story.
That's why I got excited to tell you again.
Okay.
Should I start over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with the arm. But because he took his arm.
Well, because I'm not reading well. I'm just kind of going.
Okay. The fuck, Reverend John.
It would later be discovered that James's fingerprints were on the beer bottle and the other stuff in Reverend John's car.
Right.
Because he had severed James's arm and like used them to put fingerprints. Is it because I did this?
It's all of it.
Sorry. It's so hot.
It's all of it. It's the fact that you're so excited to tell me the story, and I know this is why. I'm crying.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, everyone.
I'm so sorry. What?
He used James's severed arm to put
fingerprints. What?
On the stuff in the car to make it look you really are crying.
That is so rude.
Oh my God.
We are getting canceled.
Oh man.
Oh my God, I'm literally crying. He saved it.
Yeah, well, you know, you gotta.
He saved it.
You really gotta frame it.
Oh my God.
And he's like, maybe he was drunk. He had been drinking. And that's why he
what the fuck?
do such atrocities like decapitate a reverend.
Wow, he really thought of everything, huh?
He sure did.
He had the hand with him. Oh my God, just think of the logistics. What?
Well, I think he had done it like
Yeah.
maybe at the warehouse. Yeah. Maybe at the warehouse or in the attic.
When he had the hand with him in the bag.
Yeah,
like he
before
just pulled it out real quick and he was like, touch this a few times.
walking around with it, just smacking it on stuff.
Can you imagine? Like, first of all, you would leave behind more DNA, right? Oh my God.
I would think. Like, and it was also bleeding.
What? And he just stopped there too. He's like, I'm gonna need this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck? I now know why you were so excited to tell this story. What?
So,
Yeah.
Now he got a taxi back from James's apartment to his hidden warehouse with his motorcycle and his body bag part, right?
Yes. Okay. So he's back.
He's back.
And he's got everything staged.
He's got his head and his arm in his body part bag.
Oh, he's got it with him.
Well, now he does.
It's at the warehouse.
It's at the warehouse.
Yeah. Okay.
And so from the warehouse, Reverend John got the motorcycle and loaded up the bag of body parts.
Mm-hmm.
And drove to Kentucky Lake, which is 2 hours away.
Okay.
How's he holding it?
On his motorcycle?
Do you think it's like a Santa bag? Do you think it's like a in your lap situation?
He's got a head and a forearm.
A head and a forearm. Do you think he has a sidecar?
That's for sure in a backpack.
I was real caught up on
not a sidecar.
he's just holding it in his arm like
no way. That's a backpack.
in front
you
of
could fit a head in a
like a
backpack.
basket. Oh, you could, but you're gonna ruin a good backpack.
You would have to sacrifice a backpack, but I have a feeling this man doesn't care. He just sacrificed his whole car.
You're right. Okay, maybe. There you go.
Okay.
So now he's 2 hours away northwest.
Could you imagine? I'm never going to look at a motorcyclist the same.
What's in the backpack?
What's in the backpack?
So he drives up to Kentucky Lake, right?
Yeah.
And
who doesn't want to go there?
Rents a boat and then boats the body part bag out onto the lake.
Rows?
And
I don't know.
I don't know what kind of boat it was. And he puts some kind of a weight on the body part bag and he dumps that into the lake.
Okay, so he's in the bag everything into the lake.
Yes.
Okay.
And then back in the attic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Reverend noticed that he had missed some distinct tattoos on James's body.
Uh-oh.
Which would, like, clearly point
give
to
it away
not
that
being
it's not
him.
Reverend John.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So he cut them off and he flushed the flesh down the toilet.
What'd he do?
He flushed the flesh.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah.
awful.
And he wrapped James's body in a carpet. And then he brought some freshly chopped wood into the attic.
Okay.
And he doused everything in gasoline and he set the church on fire.
When people do this, though, I'm like, do you not think somebody's going to find out? Do you think somebody's not going to be like, how the fuck did a fire start in the attic? That's weird that there's a campfire set up here.
Well, I mean, the head is also missing from the body. So I'm sure they're going to be like, it was a homicide and then an arson.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But, like, they'll have less of the
Yeah, I guess
clues.
it does damage it, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
to go off of.
Okay.
So at this point, it was like early morning hours of June 16th, and Reverend John drove his motorcycle out to Memphis, Tennessee.
All
which
right.
was 3 hours away west.
Okay.
So the body is like northwest, he went west.
Yep.
Out in Memphis, he paid in cash for 2 nights in a motel, and then he went to a AA baseball game.
A double A?
Uh-huh.
I don't even know what that means.
It's not the MLB.
Oh.
And it's not AAA. Like, it's not even like the guys that are about to go up. It's like...
Is AAA not a service that picks you up on the side of the road when you're out of gas?
It is also that. But AAA baseball is like the farm team to the MLB. But AA is the farm team to AAA. So it's like...
I see.
It's like out of college.
I see.
But like, if you're not AAA, you're not going to make it to the MLB. It's kind of like, we'll sell tickets at this sad park for like $20. But
Oh, no.
it's, I think, anyway.
Okay, yeah.
So he went to off-brand baseball.
Okay. Like the
Meanwhile,
equate version.
Back at the church.
Up and up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the wish version of baseball.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is good baseball because I
Right.
don't know any better, but you're not going to see any stars.
Sure, we don't know who anybody is.
Yeah, exactly. You won't
Yeah.
recognize any names.
Mm-hmm.
So now, back at the church, firefighters put out the fire, and they found the decapitated body wrapped in a carpet in the attic, right?
Oops.
And they're
Yeah.
like, we have questions.
Yeah.
The coroner determined that the decapitation and dismembering of the arm were done after death,
Okay.
but he couldn't determine the cause of death since the head was missing. He's like, whatever it was had to do with the head,
Okay.
right?
Because the rest of the body seems fine.
The rest of the body looked pretty
He
normal.
got shot in the head, right?
What?
He got shot in the head,
He
right?
got shot in the head. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He did say that the flesh was all cut very neatly, but once they got to the bone, there were clear saw marks. So, like,
Ah.
clearly it was sawn, but also, like, he was
Gross.
good at it, I guess.
Ew.
So the next...
That's a weird note, you know? Like,
Well, maybe
Excellent.
that's indicating
Excellent
because
control on your blade skills.
they said the flesh was cut cleanly, and he had a hacksaw and a knife. So then
So
maybe
it's
he
probably
cut it
just
like
one
with
knife.
the knife,
Yeah.
and then they went with the hacksaw with the bone,
Ah.
right?
Oh, God.
And so I think that might have been what he was saying. Like,
Oh, okay.
this guy fucking took his time or had some thought into it at least.
Oh, gross.
So then the next day, June 17th, Reverend John threw his gun in the Mississippi River, and then after some reflection, he called his lawyer.
Oh. Well, he had a
Who-
change of heart?
I guess probably
After all of
convinced
this?
him. After everything, he was
He
like,
fucking held somebody's forearm.
and fingerprinted
made-
a beer bottle
Yeah.
and whatever else, the roof of his car.
The
Who fucking
fuck?
knows? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, and then he was like, I don't feel good about what happened. Like,
I
after
think I
eating
need to
McDonald's.
talk to someone.
So he
Yeah.
calls his lawyer. His lawyer was probably like, you know
man,
what?
shouldn't
Turn
do that.
yourself in.
Yeah,
This
shouldn't do
was
that.
a terrible idea. So
I
on
think of 3 different other things you could have done.
to blow off some steam. So on June 18th, 1987, he didn't even stay the second night at the motel that he paid for.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Money bags. Okay.
I know. Rockefeller over here. Reverend John was arrested,
Shit.
and a detective on the
he
scene.
didn't have a choice.
No, well, I mean, he was like, hey guys, I'm over here, right? Like, he went and turned himself in.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
He's arrested. A detective on the scene said that John showed no emotion at all, no remorse, nothing, just very matter of fact, like, this happened, my bad, whatever, right? What? He was just a guy. So,
What'd he do with the... Oh, in the water. I was
Yeah.
like, what'd he do with the head and forearm?
It's on the
I'm
lake.
dumb. Yeah, my
a
bad.
psychiatrist determined that while the Reverend was not insane at the time of the murder, he was severely depressed.
Mm.
But, like,
Okay.
he still can't kill someone.
Yeah, okay. We'll get one.
So, the trial started.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean...
Sure, he's sad.
He wasn't in the right place, but also you still can't fucking do that.
Right.
The defense brought in a bunch of character witnesses who all said what a great guy John was and how he had helped their brother or visited their dad in the hospital or whatever nice thing he had done, right?
That's all I'm thinking right now is like, is this first, like, this man's first offense?
Yeah,
like,
I think it is his
it
first, like,
escalated.
indiscretion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And he
Like,
went
he's real upset about this bishop stuff.
for the fucking gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, I worked my whole life for this. I was
Yeah.
good my whole life. It's very
Turns-
Catholic girl syndrome, right? He just went for it.
Oh, no. Is that what happens? I guess. You're right, huh?
He went all the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're all like, I mean, he was so great. He fucking fostered kittens or whatever. And the
He fed them milk from his own nipples. I don't know.
and the prosecution was like, yeah, but like, see how he admits to killing and decapitating a guy for his own gain?
But, like, see how he is?
yeah, and the jury did see that.
Yeah. They seen it.
They seen
They
it.
opened their eyes.
And they also saw how he had stolen over $30,000 from the church,
Fuck.
which is embezzlement.
Uh-huh.
And so he was sentenced to death by electric chair. He
Ooh.
obviously appealed all that, right?
Sure.
And he was given a new trial because the Supreme Court ruled that improper instructions had been given to the jury during the sentencing phase.
Oh, what?
Bum, 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 bum. But,
Improper instructions.
mm-hmm. They
What?
were like, you don't, I don't know. You
Like,
don't get
you-
to determine what it was. And
You
found
can't ask
out.
questions.
On August 6th, 1997, he was again sentenced to death.
They were like, yeah, but he still did it, though.
Mm-hmm. They were like, okay, technical.
Even with these instructions.
Yeah. And then in 2003, just before his attorneys were scheduled to argue for another new trial, Reverend John hanged himself in a bathroom at Riverbend Maximum Security Institution.
Just around the riverbend.
He was 58 years old.
He hung once more. Oh, no.
Yeah. That's all. Isn't that
He
fucking
was
crazy?
58?
58 years old, and he was like, I guess I'll never be fucking Reverend. And that was in 2003. Bishop. I should drink more.
You should. Oh, no. What the fuck? He
Right?
hung himself? That was a wild ride.
It was
All
a wild ride.
for Bishop, huh?
Uh-huh. Poor fucking James. Brenda.
Poor James. Poor Brenda.
kids.
Oh my God. You think Brenda's back there doing like fucking damage control?
She's like, I just asked you to fucking help him.
Yeah, she's like, he probably didn't touch the forearm, right? Justifying something. What the fuck?
Right? Isn't that crazy?
The fuck? I don't understand what his plan was, though. Like, I understand. You explained it, but it wasn't well thought out. He went back because he was like, oh, yeah, tattoos.
Well, he went back. I think he was, like, going to go set the place on fire and everything, right?
Yeah.
And he couldn't have the fire until he was, like, well and ready to be on his way.
Right. Well, yeah, that'll start a tension.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was thinking of, because originally I was thinking, like, oh, he's trying to lay low and back out. But you were like, nah, you want to destroy evidence. That makes sense, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then once you destroy that evidence, everybody knows there's evidence that's being destroyed.
Well, they're pretty quick, especially with churches, to, like, go in and put them out.
Yeah, they tend to pay attention to those.
Yeah. You're not going to get far.
No.
And then it doesn't sound like his body was, like, really well burnt or anything. The coroner was like, it seems okay.
He's wrapped up in a rug.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I'm still really upset about him using his hand.
Using his hand. I don't like that. I don't like that part.
It's like, but I cannot.
Sorry
Anyway.
about that. Sorry if this entire episode was extremely offensive.
I'm not. I am in no condition to apologize.
At this point,
And
it's
mean
our
it.
MO.
You know what I mean? So, if you guys want to check out pictures pertaining to our case, you should go to our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. Our handle is at ISGD Podcast. If you want to email us, you can do that at isgdpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can snail mail us at
P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
9.
Also, April, I
was
have
gonna-
your package.
I was like, what? Isn't there supposed to be a package?
There is. I have it. It's at my house, and I forgot to bring it.
The
I
fuck,
remembered,
yo?
I remembered on the freeway.
The fuck, yo?
I remembered on the freeway.
The fuck, yo?
I'm sorry. But
Sorry.
I didn't want to leave it in my Jeep because I was like, I never know what it is, and I don't want it to get hot or
melt.
something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then
For
my
sure.
dad
sure.
was over. I went out through the wrong door.
It was a whole in through the outdoor. She was wearing a raspberry beret.
I was, and I'm sorry. But we will get it
Next week.
next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.